Hi everyone! Today we're going on an amazing adventure in a super colorful world full of dinosaurs. Our main pal is Rexy. He's a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but don't worry, he's not scary at all. Rexy is super friendly and has the biggest, happiest smile you've ever seen. He loves to tell jokes, especially when he's chasing his favorite red bouncy ball. Terry the pterodactyl flies super high, sees everything from way up in the sky like a living drone, loves loop-de-loops, sometimes gets a little dizzy. Steggy the stegosaurus is calm and thoughtful. Big plates on his back change colors with his mood. When he's happy, they glow bright yellow. Triceratopsy the triceratops is super strong with 3 horns. Velociraptor the velociraptor is super fast and full of energy. Together, these friends are the Dynamite Crew. Their world has sparkling rivers, giant colorful flowers, and trees so tall they tickle the clouds. Every day is a new adventure. They play games, they share snacks, they look after each other. Their world is peaceful and full of laughter, from Rexy's giant footsteps to Rappy's speedy zoomies. They thought every day would be just like the last, sunny skies and happy games. But one morning, something very strange began to happen, something that would test their friendship like never before. One sunny morning, Rexy was trying to teach Rappy how to do a cartwheel, which was very funny because Rexy's arms were so short. Suddenly, the ground started to wiggle. It wasn't a big wiggle, just a little jiggle, like when you're standing on a giant bowl of jelly. Rexy stopped mid-cartwheel attempt and wobbled. Whoa, did you guys feel that? Steggy's ferns trembled, and his plates flickered from yellow to a confused shade of orange. High in the sky, Terry felt the air wobble and almost flew upside down. Then they all heard a low, deep noise. Rumble. Grumble. It sounded like a giant tummy was feeling very, very hungry. All the dinosaurs stopped what they were doing and looked towards the giant mountain at the edge of their valley. It was Mount Kaboom, the big volcano. Usually, Mount Kaboom was very quiet and sleepy, but today, a big dark cloud of smoke was puffing out of it. The rumbling got a little bit louder. Rumble, groan. The ground shook again, a little harder this time.
Oh my, he whispered. Mount Kaboom sounds very unhappy today.
Rexy looked at his friends, his happy smile replaced with a look of concern. He knew they had to do something.
Okay, team, Mount Kaboom is having a bad day. We need to go find out what's wrong and see if we can help.
Go up there? Rexy, it's rumbling and grumbling. What if it's super mad?
But I can fly up high and be our lookout. I'll be our eye in the sky.
This made everyone feel a little bit better. A lookout was a great idea.
Great idea, Terry. And Topsy, you're super strong. You can help clear the path if any rocks have fallen down.
You can count on me. No rock is too big for my horns.
What can I do? My plates are just good for showing my feelings, and right now, they're just showing that I'm scared.
Your plates are like a warning system, Steggy, and you're super smart. We need you to help us think of a clever solution when we get there.
And so, the plan was made. It was time for Operation Cheer Up the Volcano. Their first task was to pack some supplies. But what do you pack for a grumpy volcano?
What do you call a sleeping dinosaur? A dino snore, get it?
With a deep breath, Rexy led the way and the Dynamite Crew began their journey to Mount Kaboom. The path to the volcano was trickier than they remembered. The rumbling had shaken a lot of rocks loose, and the trail was covered in wobbly stones. Triceratopsy went first, using her strong head to push big rocks out of the way. Crunch! One big boulder rolled down the hill and landed right in a mud puddle with a giant sploosh that covered Velociraptor in mud.
Hey, I just had a bath last week.
As they climbed higher, they came to a giant crack in the ground. It was too wide to jump across.
Oh no, how will we get over this?
Don't worry, team. I have an idea.
He flew back and forth across the gap, carrying a long, strong vine in his beak, tying one end to a sturdy tree on their side and the other end to a tree on the other side.
Ta-da! A dino-sized tightrope.
But Velociraptor, being small and fast, zipped right across it before anyone could stop him. One by one, the dinosaurs carefully made their way across. Steggy was very slow and careful, his spiky tail helping him balance. Rexy was last. He had to go very, very slowly, and the vine groaned under his weight. For a moment, he wobbled dangerously. But with a cheer from his friends, he made it to the other side safely. Teamwork was making their dream work. Every time they faced a problem, one of them had a clever or silly idea to solve it. Finally, after all their climbing and problem-solving, the Dynamite Crew reached the top of Mount Kaboom. They peeked over the edge of the crater. It was a giant bowl. Deep inside, instead of fiery lava, there was a huge bubbling lake of hot mud. And that wasn't the weirdest part. In the middle of the mud lake, 3 gigantic rocks were stuck, blocking a big hole at the bottom. Big bubbles of gas rose up and pushed the rocks, making the volcano shake and rumble. Blurp, grumble, shake.
Whoa, look at that. The volcano isn't angry, it has a tummy ache.
It seems like gas is trapped underneath those rocks. The pressure is building up, and that's what's causing all the shaking and rumbling.
It's like when you drink a fizzy drink too fast and get a big burp stuck in your tummy. The friends all looked at each other. It made perfect sense. The volcano wasn't trying to be scary, it was just uncomfortable and needed to burp.
Hey, Volcano! What do you get if you cross a dinosaur with a pig? Jurassic pork!
They needed to move those 3 giant rocks so the volcano could release the pressure and feel better. But the rocks were huge, and they were all the way down in a lake of hot, bubbling mud. Rexy looked at the rocks. He looked at his friends. He looked at the supplies they brought. A plan started to form in his mind. It was a crazy, silly, dino-sized plan, but it just might work.
Guys, I have an idea. It's going to take all of us working together, but I think we can help Mount Kaboom feel better.
We're going to tie all those strong vines together to make one super, super long rope. Rappy used his speed to fetch the vines. Topsy used her strong jaws to help tie tight knots. Soon, they had a very long, very strong vine rope. Step 1 is complete.
I can be the hook. If you tie the rope around me, I can use my powerful bite to grab onto the rocks and pull them out.
It was a very brave and slightly crazy idea. The team was worried. Rexy, are you sure? That mud looks really hot.
I'll be quick, and I'll have all of you helping me.
They carefully tied the vine rope around Rexy's strong body. Triceratopsy would be the anchor. Steggy would be the anchor. Rappy would be the coordinator. Terry would be the eye in the sky. It was the ultimate teamwork challenge. Rexy took a deep breath. Okay, everyone, get ready. Lower me down. Steggy and Topsy dug their feet into the ground. They slowly began to let out the vine rope. Rexy was carefully lowered down the side of the crater wall. The air got hotter and hotter. The bubbling mud below seemed to get louder. Rexy focused on his task. His eyes locked on the first of the 3 giant rocks. He had to be brave, not just for himself, but for his friends and for their entire valley. Operation Volcano Cooler was officially underway.
A little to the left, Rexy, Terry called down from above. The first rock is just below you.
He opened his mighty jaws wide. With perfect timing, guided by Terry, he swung forward and clamped his teeth on the edge of the first giant rock. Crunch! He had it! Okay, team, pull! Triceratopsy pulled with all her might. Steggy pulled with all his might. With one final mighty heave from the team, the rock came loose. Rexy let go, and the rock tumbled into the deeper part of the mud lake with a giant sploosh. 1 down, 2 to go. They repeated the process. The second rock joined the first one at the bottom of the mud lake. Now only 1 rock was left, but it was the biggest of all. This one was the hardest. Just when it felt like they couldn't pull any harder, the rock finally broke free. Rexy let it go, and it made the biggest splash yet. Ka-sploosh! As soon as the last rock was cleared, a huge bubble of trapped gas finally escaped from the hole at the bottom. It came up with a massive whoosh and a sound like a giant happy sigh. The rumbling stopped. The shaking stopped. Instead of grumpy gray smoke, a gentle plume of clean white steam floated peacefully into the sky. The team pulled a very muddy Rexy up to the crater's edge. A very happy Rexy smiled, muddy but proud.
You did it, Rexy! We all did it! The volcano's tummy ache was gone. They had done it!
Walking down the mountain together, the valley seemed to celebrate. The sun shone brighter. Flowers looked more colorful. Other dinosaurs came out to cheer. They had faced a big, scary problem, but together, they saved the day. That night, they threw the biggest party the valley had ever seen, the Volcano Victory Bash. Piles of the juiciest ferns, sweet berries, races, rides, and Steggy's plates glowing in a rainbow of happy colors. Rexy, with his red bouncy ball, stood with friends and looked at the peaceful valley. He smiled his biggest, happiest smile. The Dynamite crew was ready for the next adventure, together. And that's the story of what Rexy did at the volcano. Wasn't that awesome?